Hello guys, this is Pedro Raufi from Gerchik Co and you're watching the markets review. During this program we're going to check the situation on the markets, going to check the main charts of main stock indexes of United States stock market, and we're going to continue the program by checking the price action of the Forex pairs, gold, silver, and of course the other commodity like oil and the energy sector assets as well. We're going to check all of them and the technical situation on the charts, the news background as well, and at the end we're going to check the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to check the situation on this on the cryptocurrency market, which we have today, and some not really great predictions about which we are going to talk about today, which are a little bit negative. We're going to go through all of it. And as you remember from previous time, S&P 500 have been making some correctional upward movement, and the next consolidation, which was so suspicious, about which we told you that prices mostly are going to make another fall and the breakthrough of local minimums. 3,800 was the main target, but now we are actually located under this level. Are we going to continue this downward movement or not? That's the next question, because 3,800 is the main support, which is located under a really important support of psychological level of 4,000. So are we going to really stuck under 3,800? Is stock market indexes are going to really fall that much? We are going to actually check this by the help of news background, by the help of analyzing the technical situation here. But first, let's go straight to the news. And as you know, war situation, the main factor around which nowadays markets are kind of rounding, getting harsher and harsher, and it's going to uh, take a long time to stabilize. So markets could actually, within some time, stop to even act or take any kind of impact from war situation. We know the situation with the president of Turkey, which is trying to stabilize the energy market, for example, which is trying to stabilize the food market, problems with food market, which we have now in Africa, which is starting because of the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia. And another way, China and the United States are getting more tighter. They are getting more stabilized. Their relations getting more stabilized, and all of these moments are telling us that actually markets within some months maybe won't even care about war in Ukraine. It doesn't mean that politics won't care, but it means that markets maybe you start to not even care and kind of get isolated from this war situation, because there's a most realistic picture, if we say, which exists for now, for today, because we know that war is going to be long, and that's not my analysis, that's analysis of the most of war analysts. So today's news, which I actually chose for you, was the yesterday's BlackRock's speech about it's not going to a really great company, which is a most one of the biggest giants on the financial market. Said that it's not going to buy the dip. Well, because the volatility is getting really, really shockingly high, and that was the moment that I told you from previous time that mostly we are waiting for some midterm reversal. But don't forget that this kind of consolidation is going to tell us that movement is going to be rapidly, really fastly, get an impulsive character and retest the local minimum. So from previous time, if you remember, we told you that prices after this kind of consolidation are going to retest the local minimum, and not only the next target level of 3,800. That was the bad news about which we told you that it's kind of could happen, but you just need to know that stock market is not really going to fall that much. And there's a technical issue here as well, why it's not going to fall that much in a midterm, because as you see, the main corridor which we have for about a year or a year and a half, I think, this corridor starting from 4,800 to around 3,800. This is a main corridor, main price corridor, which we have during the past year, year and a half. And the movement here is about 50% of the whole corridor, of this whole consolidational movement, which means that if something like that happened within 3 days, it would mean that here is really situation is really speculative. As I told you, that bears are going to speculate, and bears of stock market are the bulls of dollar index, which is rising because of Federal Reserve System monetary policy tightening. And we told you that there would be some kind of speculations, and that's a real factor that this could be a really, as we say, hard and sharp speculation, after which prices are not going to go anywhere, after which prices are going to just continue some consolidational movement. So I really do not believe that prices are going to fall that much. So local minimum for about past 2 weeks, I'm sorry, for past month was level 4,000. 4,000, 3,800, and now we are not that far from the 3,800, which is a target level, which is one of the target levels. So I think that in the near future, prices are going to kind of try to fight this level. So bulls are going to try to fight this level to get above it. Bears are going to make prices to get under it, and in this whole situation would be just a consolidational movement around the target level of 3,800. Another scenario, a really fast bounce up, which would mean that prices within 1 day or within some sessions could get again above 4,000, really impulsively. So there's two scenarios which could really happen, because I don't really believe the continuation of this kind of trend here, because it was really sharp. It have already finished the 50% of potential which was here. So as you know, this movement is about the 50% or a little bit less, but the 50% of this whole downward trend. So mathematically, and due to the movement potential, I don't think that there is any kind of potential for the continuation of bearish movement. Speculations would continue, but 3,800, 3,600 are the next levels inside which prices are going to show that they are going to again start to rise, and they are going to start to correctively just start to rise, and this would be about 3,600, 3,800 levels, after the retest of which most prices are going to reverse and start to rise again till 4,000, maybe till 4,100. Then they're going to get again inside the downward movement. But here we really need a great news for stock market to rise further. Previously, JP Morgan told investors to diversify their own portfolios by the help of buying Chinese assets or Chinese stocks. And the reason is that coronavirus in China is kind of getting finished, the last wave of coronavirus. And the quarantines are kind of closing now. The quarantines are finishing, are ending quarantines in the biggest cities of China. And because of that, the industry is going to start to work again. The business is going to be as previously worked, and mainly we are going to have some rise in Chinese stock market, which would help investors of American stocks to diversify their own portfolios to just not get shocked by these kind of movements which we are actually observing on the stock market of the United States. What is going next? I think that I finished with the news. There was actually three reasons about which BlackRock told that they are not really eager to buy the dip of the market, and here in the business on the business inside you can actually find these reasons. Um, Mostly logical reasons, but as you know, situation in the stock market could really change it within one movement, within just one change in, for example, in United States-China relationship, it could really change, and many different type of economic forecasts about United States economy could as well change in one moment within some days after something get better some in the relationship with China, which is actually going to happen because world doesn't have any other alternative paths or ways to get out of this crisis, which is now going on: the high inflation, food crisis, and energy crisis. So it is three crises: food crisis, energy crisis, and what is it? Ah, yeah, inflation. The high inflation about which now we are talking, and most of economies are under the pressure of this factor. Next comes Dow Jones, the industrial index of the United States market, which have been exactly made the same movement, really impulsive movement. This movement is actually taking about 50% of the whole corridor. And this would mean that this movement is a really speculative movement, after which prices are not going to continue to fall. So during next week, during this week, mostly the picture which we are going to observe is going to be about the reversal. $30,000 is a really important psychological level nearby, after the retest of which prices are not going to fall further, they're going to reverse and just show us that they are kind of rebouncing. So this would be a corrective rebound. This could be a corrective upward impulse, or this could be a corrective upward movement. So there would be two scenarios: just a consolidational movement around 30,000, and then step by step we are going to go higher, or within one day or one session prices are going to make some speculative bullish upward movement to 3,000 to 32,000 or 33,000. So as well as we said about S&P 500, we have a chance of two scenarios now. A really impulsive retest and rally to 4,000, 4,100 for S&P 500, and a really fast rally from 30,000 to 30,000, 32,000, 33,000 for Dow Jones Index, and the next downward movement, which would be the signal of the priority of sales and sellers on the market. So the priority of the bears, which is real bad news. But I'm gonna actually start with the first scenario, which first means that prices are going to get into some consolidational movement. Then they're going to start to little by little, they're just going to strengthen further. And the Nasdaq high-tech main index of the United States stock market, which is now showing us that exactly as the same, it just break through the local minimums and it's already stopped. It already stopped to fall. There's a problem with the Nasdaq index, which is related to the Federal Reserve System's monetary policy tightening, higher interest rates, which are going to cause many problems for the high-tech companies. Not for industrial that much, but for high-tech companies they would. So as you would understand, this kind of problem could make Nasdaq and S&P 500 to fall really further than Dow Jones would fall. And because of that, you have to be a little bit ready, or just understand the differences between two indexes, one of which is industrial, and not really get under a high pressure like S&P 500 or Nasdaq. So here Nasdaq actually could make a reversal to 12,000, or maybe to 12,500, but you just need to know that this would be a correctional movement, and especially if it is impulsively, and it's happening impulsively, and this is really impulsive movement, impulsive rally. This would mean that you don't really have any kind of chances to continue the long position, so you need to just get back to the short positions and just short it to the new minimums. But as I told you, I'm not that pessimistic. I'm just gonna go with the first scenario, which means that stock market just going to make some consolidational movement, shrink volatility, running near to local minimums, near to, for example, here's 11,200, or maybe 11,000. For Dow Jones is about 30,000, and for S&P 500 is 3,600, 3,800. So some consolidational movement around these supports, and then little by little the prices are going to start to rise, and then they would make some, as here, 20-25% of the movement upward, and then again make next speculative downward return. But as I told you from previous time, because of some predictions, because of some factors, due to the long-term charts and due to the long-term analysis, I'm waiting for some reversal which could happen during a midterm, so during some weeks or maybe some months. And if you look at the charts, you understand that this reversal, we are really near to the moment of this reversal technically. But when it's going to really happen, when it's going to really start to shine and actually show its movement, that's really could be related to the next steps of Federal Reserve System, which is going to tighten the monetary policy, and when it's going to finish it, because Federal Reserve System have to finish this within some months as well. And the United States-China relationships are going to be better, are going to work, and that's the only instrument for a Biden administration which it could use to just make the economic, for example, to make the economic indexes of the country to get to the Trump's era, for example. So to kind of just to show that you've done something for economy as well. Next, we're going to go through the analysis of the Forex pairs, but first of all, we are going to check the dollar index prices, about which we actually gave you different type of predictions from previous time. We told you that dollar prices are going to make some speculative movement. There, here it is, the speculative movement. Actually, my predictions were way optimistic. I thought that maybe prices are going to reverse after the retest of 104, not to 105. So now, as we see, prices have been rose to 105, to local maximum. But situation here, due to this kind of gaps, due to the low volatility, is really showing that mostly regulators are not allowing given markets to use these jumps, and these jumps have been happened just for the regulators, so they could change the situation on the market. So it really looks like just only because of these gaps which have been opened that regulators are really interested to change the trend on the markets, and they just didn't allow any member of the market to use this the situation and to make money anyway, because that this speculation was realized under the authority of the government. These gaps are showing us that the fact is that regulator wanted it, and regulated, as we say, got it. So because of that, I cannot really believe in the future rise of dollar index. I cannot really believe in the in this kind of temp, in this kind of by this kind of speed. I cannot believe the price of dollars is going to rise that much, as that during this week even. And I cannot believe that the price of in the stock market of United States are going to fall further. So I think that mostly they are going to just start to consolidate in the near future and reverse, and just reverse back around 25-30% of the previous jump. They're just gonna take it back. So this is my actual prediction. And to get into forex market, we are going to check the situation um, on the economy calendar, which is for today PPI, producer price index, which is rising for the United States. That is a good news. For tomorrow, we have releases from China. And from the United States, core retail sales, which is rising as well. So we have really good releases from United States, industrial releases from United States. So really believing in the fall of the further fall of the Dow Jones at least would be really unrealistic. Retail sales, which is not rising, that's actually the mostly related to inflation. Crude oil inventories, which is going to be released tomorrow. And we have a deficit here. That's really good news for oil prices. They could rise. We have some speeches of Federal Reserve System President and the European Central Bank, which you have to pay attention. And the gross domestic product of New Zealand falling, not so good. And Thursday, Swiss bank press conference. Let's see what they would tell. They are not really. They don't really like. I think that they are not going to give dollar to rally that much, because dollar is really rising so high, to Japanese yen and to Swiss franc as well. Bank of England interest rate change, which is expected to be higher. So about pound, maybe at the end of this week, we are going to have some reversal. We are going to have some rally for pound, for British pound. So you have to just pay attention on this on Thursday. Building permits of United States, which is falling. That's not a surprise. Initial jobless claims at the United States, which is again getting a little bit lower than before. Philadelphia Federal Manufacturing Index, which is rising. It's amazing. Friday. So, and one of the most important one of the most important factors that help the United States industry nowadays is that the United States, because of the land lease, now have to return to, for example, countries like Poland, like Slovenia, the countries which help Ukraine, to send them guns and let's say artillery. They just need to send them their own armor. So this would really help in the industry of the United States. First of all, the industry of the United States, because the defense defense industry is one of the most pricey ones. CPI, consumer price of Europe, is not changing. So here, federal system speeches at the Friday, the last day of this week. And that was all about the economy calendar. So we had the oil inventories, which has a deficit, which is really good for oil prices, which is going to be released tomorrow. Jobless claims of United States, which is really good, and too many economic industrial releases from United States, which are positive. So don't be that pessimistic about Dow Jones Index price action in the future, during this week at least. And we're going to return to the Forex market. Lower prices, as I said, this speculation, that's something that I don't really believe that could continue. And I think the prices mostly in the near future are going to reverse, and they are going to reverse from 106, from 105, 50, doesn't matter. They're going to reverse. They're going to reverse at least to 104, 102. And this would be exactly that moment by the help of which stock market indexes could start to rise. Not only them, but the prices of euro, pound, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, maybe Swiss franc, gold, and silver, they could as well rise. Mostly oil, because oil has a really great opposite correlation with dollar prices. So dollar, United States dollar to Canadian dollar, you have to actually check that as well, the charts of this pair. But you're going to go step by step. So first of all comes Europe to United States. Here we have a reversal already on the 4-hour chart. So it was a really impulsive movement downward. Local minimum haven't breakthrough. We are going to reverse. 1.03, 1.04 are the range of the risk. So this range speculatively could break through, but I think that because of the situation which we have now, because of the potential of the movement which have been already finished, I mean about the bearish market, is kind of really finished, we kind of can wait for some changes in a movement. This would mean that prices are going to reverse and they could start to rise. 10.5, 1.05, 1.06, they would be less, and the next targets for bulls, for buyers. British pound to United States dollar. What kind of situation we have here? Impulsive retest of local minimum on the 4-hour chart. Great retest after the consolidation. I think that we are waiting for reversal. This reversal could happen after the retest of a psychological level 1.2. So I had this pair on one of my analytics on our channel, I think Telegram channel, that I was telling about the retest of a psychological level. So we have a psychological level of 1.2, and it's mostly is going to get retested, but after it retest, prices are going to reverse and mostly they're going to start to rise. 1.22, 1.24 are the next levels which have to get retested, till which we are going to rise after we rebounds from 1.2. Australian dollar and United States dollar. We don't have a local minimum breakthrough, we just have its impulsive retest. So 0.68, 50, 0.68 is a range which speculatively could get retested, but maybe if it's getting retested impulsively at least, this would be really good reason to get into long positions as fast as we can. But mostly, I think that we're going to have some consolidational movement first, and then prices are going to rise to 0.70. 0.70 is a psychological level which we have already broken, and I think that prices are not going to be under this level that long. They're just going to show that amplitude under this level is getting lower and lower, and then prices are going to climb it up again and just get above it and go further. So you have to wait for it, maybe some sessions, some days even. But for now, for today's session, mostly all of these assets, euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar, are going to fall further, are going to speculate till they retest the local minimums, and then they're going to reverse. So, as well as the stock market situation, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, all of them for next hours, for next sessions, mostly are going to continue to retest the dip, to retest the bottom of the market. But within some days, situation here is going to get changed, and prices are going to start to reverse. And this reversal could be not that could actually happen with a really great volatility, not with a low volatility. New Zealand dollar to United States dollar. Situation as the same. Local minimums haven't been broken through. We could break them 0.62, 0.60. Let's say 0.62 is a level above which we're going to buy again. So prices are going to retest this level and then strengthen above this level. 0.64 is the next target for buyers, I think. So next we are going to go straight to the energy market to see what is going on with oil prices, with gas prices. Oil prices continued the rise, continued the upward movement. We here had a really stop in upward movement from previous time, if you remember. And now we see that the prices are kind of making a really high pressure to this level. We have the continuation of the main divergency which we have here, and most of the prices could make some speculative upward impulses to 125, but this could be not a really bad news. Prices actually could really run further, even in the near future, I think. But here is for oil prices as well as for dollar prices to yen prices, to Japanese yen prices. We have really great levels, great range of the stop loss, which are really low, which are really close, and which are really safe because of the price action which we have. So here I can say that 118, 116 is a main risk range which we have. And if we get near to them, especially impulsively on 4 hours chart, for example, and we close above them till next day, this would be a really great signal to get into the bullish market again. But in the near future, I think the prices are going to do this maneuver. They're going to retest the local minimums, but they're not going to fall that much. So the gas prices, which is really related to today's war, have been come under really high pressure because previously in the world we know that pressure from Russian army to Ukrainian borders have been rose in times, and many analysts now, they are really suspicious about Ukraine's victory because the United States have been approved the land lease, is sending Ukraine the artillery and armor, but it's not that much to bring Ukraine the victory. So the amount of these weapons are really low, and many analysts nowadays are telling that Ukraine victory is kind of already under suspicion. The probability of it's getting lower and lower because of the really low amount of the weapons which Western countries sending to Ukraine, because they are not that much. They are not that much as they are on the side of Russians, for example. And because of that, we get kind of we've got this kind of suspicions nowadays. Another reason is that using this situation, which is now living, so Ukrainian diplomats nowadays are living this kind of crisis, in which they're really kind of getting a little bit suspicious about the victory about which they have thought. And now the leaders of the France, Germany, and Italy are thinking to make Ukrainian leaders and Ukrainian diplomats to kind of give up. But they are not going to do this. They are not going to give up, even if Western countries doesn't help them. Ukrainian history is a history of resistance, the history of it's kind of the same as Irish Republic history. It's the same of the history of Kurds, which are living in Central Asia, in the Middle East. And because of that, if you just read the history, you understand that the policy, the mentality of these people, and the soul of the people is not going to let the leaders or the diplomats to do something like that, to just give up. And because of that, sometimes maybe some countries could get a little bit like optimistic, so they think that, oh, we are going to close this question, we're going to finish the war. Doesn't matter if the Ukrainian lands have been taken by Russians, as always, because Germany think like this, France think like this, Austria think like this, and of course the Italy think like this. They are not really interested. The only countries which are interested in Ukraine's victory is first of all Great Britain, and second of all is United States. So because of that, today we have a situation in which most of this country is trying to now for nearest week or two, when we are waiting for the next land-lease package, they could try to make Ukrainian diplomats to just give up, maybe, but that's not the thing that's going to happen. And why I told about this, I just told you that the stop in the natural gas rising is kind of related to the frozen situation which we have now. Frozen situation which we have now due to sanctions. Frozen situation which we have now about the reaction of Western countries to the things that Russia is continuing to do in Ukraine. This frozen situation have made this consolidation. But after that, after within 2 weeks, when war get harsher, when Ukraine get the new package of land lease and start to operate, start to make up the counterattacks, gas prices are going to rise further. So all of this that I told you about 5 or 10 minutes was about that prices of gas is not going to fall. And price of gas is not going to fall only because the energy crisis is not going to finish even after the war. And here we are not even telling you that war is going to end. So why oil or gas prices have to fall? I don't understand. They are not going to fall anyway. 950, 10 are next levels which have to get retested. Correctionally, speculatively, we could retest $8, not more than $8. 750 is a really, this could be a really speculative level. So here and now, I think that it would be better to not to present on the markets, but from 750 we can actually buy it again. For now, I think that prices are going to make some bullish speculations, but if we don't have any kind of triggers for now, for today on the markets, it's really hard to say that prices are going to make this bullish speculation. So maybe it would be better to wait for it first. And $8, 750, I don't think $8 could really get retested before prices start to rise. And fly further. So United States dollar to Canadian dollar was a lovely pair of currencies. So it was the dollar's strengthening which have happened. SMA and EMA are clashing now. Here we are going to have some reversal, but this is going to happen within some days. So 1.30, 1.30, 50, they could get retested in the near future, but in the midterm, within some days, we are going to have a reversal. United States dollar to Mexican peso, exactly the same situation. We are near to the reversal, but $20.50, $21 could get retested. Let's say $20.50, $20.80 are going to get retested, but after that we are going to have a reversal. So we're going to get to commodity markets, gold, silver, just to check the prices here. Gold haven't fall down because of dollar's prices strengthening, and the 1,800 haven't even retested. So we have potential of the retest of this level, but we have to know that prices are going to strengthen further above this level. Even if in the near future we break through this level, even if in the near future prices get under this level, it doesn't mean that prices are going to fall further. Prices of gold now is getting near to a really important level of 1,800, after the test of which prices have to start to rise again. This would happen within 3 days, 2 days, within 1 week, but this is something that's going to happen. I think that 1-2 days are enough for gold prices to reverse again, but even more than enough, I think. And the silver prices, $20 haven't been retested, $20.50 haven't been retested. So here we have a potential of next speculative bearish movement, but mostly prices are getting ready for reversal as well. Platinum is showing us that is already bottoming, is already retesting the deep of the market, and here as well we're waiting for the reversal. $900 psychological level, his retest is going to make prices to reverse again. And the palladium prices, which have been break through the local minimum 1,900, now 1,800, and I think that prices are not going to go further. Prices are going to get above 1,800, rise to 1,900, 2,000, and then they're going to continue to consolidate and maybe rise further in the case if dollar prices doesn't rise further. I'm so suspicious about dollar prices. I think that Federal Reserve System for next months could really change its own monetary policy. I don't know why I think so, but I really think so. I cannot say why I feel this. It's just some timing, some feelings inside my head. I just feel that Federal Reserve System is going to change its own monetary policy in the near future. And some risk pairs, some defensive pairs of United States dollar to Swiss franc, rise of dollar, retest of psychological level of 1, and next downward impulse. So here it was an impulse. Next we're going to have a consolidation and the continuation of downward movement mostly. So in this case we could use the reverses from the local maximums to trade. United States dollar to Japanese yen. Consolidational movement happened at the level of 134. 134, 136 previously was the target levels about which we told you that prices are going to retest them and then they're going to reverse. But here we have the consolidation movement, which means that dollar prices is really strong, 2 yen, and Japanese yen is not going to never be that strong, even if dollar prices start to fall. So here you have to, if you are a bear, if you're going to get into bearish market, you have to really be careful. that 132, 133 are the main range, are the main levels of the local minimum. They are not going to break through. They are not, prices are not going to stuck under these levels anyway. Even if United States dollar to CHF falls further, this pair is not going to fall that much. And we are going to get into Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency market. Previously, we told you that there is really bad news about Bitcoin. They're still on the market. They're really bad news, bad predictions. We told you that prices are going to get to 15,000, but from previous time prices break through 3,000, 30,000. Now they're around 20,000. The idea of 15,000 is really realistic, but this would not happen because already prices are making a really, my bad, already the prices are making a really sharp downward movement. Because of this sharp downward movement, I can say that in the near future we are going to get 15,000. In the near future, mostly we are going to get some consolidational movements during which prices could get above 25,000 again, 27,000, but not, they're not going to rise to 250. I mean, that's not the reversal to hold or to hodl the Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's just a correctional reversal. Ethereum prices as well, they have to be the same. 1,000 psychological level have been retested, and 1,400, 1,600 are next levels which we are going to retest, but we are not going to get strengthened above them. We are just going to retest them. So there is this actually situation for speculation which you can use in the near future. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss the online videos which you could have on this channel. Don't forget to check the official site of Gerchik Co. There you can find different type of assets, different type of lessons, and different type of information for yourself and for your trading. If you're a beginner as well, if you're a professional, we have different type of packages for traders which you can buy with a really great sell-off on each of them. In each of them you can find different types of instruments for your terminal, different type of robots, signals, and scripts for tradings, and some interesting tricks which are related to the technical analysis, about which we have different type of lessons on these packages, in these packages. So don't forget to check the official site. Until next time, take care of yourself. Have good tradings. Bye bye.